I wanted to introduce Samantha to you for those of you that don't know. But Sam was kind enough to put together this presentation. It's connecting with clients during COVID-19, and she offered to do this presentation to give you folks some tools to make sure that we stay in front of our partners out there and our clients out there. You know, a couple things with what we do in general is, you know, again, we're a high-touch, purchase-focused organization. So although we're writing a lot of refinances right now as well, you know, it's still important that we keep in communications and contact with all of our clients, referral partners, so that we don't ignore them during this this refi boom, and we obviously stay in contact with them. For those of you that don't know, Samantha Steen is a senior account manager with MGIC. She is a good, as well as MGIC, a good partner to Platinum. Sam's been out at our sales conferences doing presentations for, I mean, I can't tell you the last you know, how many years. The only thing I can say is that we usually put Sam in a room a door or two down from our other presenters, because whatever goes on in Sam's presentations, they're always having an awful lot of fun and hooting and hollering as we kind of go through the presentations. So needless to say, she's a great presenter. We appreciate you joining us every time. Real quick, everybody is on mute except for Sam and myself. There's a chat box. If you see the participant list, the chat box is on the bottom. If you guys have questions throughout the presentation, please use the chat box and present it to everyone, not privately. And from there, we can kind of pick up on your questions and read those. The presentation is not that long. We should probably be only about 15 minutes. And that's once I shut up and Sam starts. So with that being said, Sam, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Lee, and hello to the Platinum family. For those of you who joined early, I was saying to Lee, I can't believe we were together in Vegas in January for the national sales meeting, and he corrected, reminded me to make sure I I clarified that we were all together in Vegas for your national sales meeting, and who knew what we would be facing just a short 2 months later. So I miss that time that I was able to see you face to face, but I'm so thankful for this technology allowing us to connect in a different way as we discuss connecting with your clients during COVID-19. I'm going to give you 3 tools that you can immediately use to differentiate yourself and stay engaged so that you remain top of mind, so that when your clients are ready to transact, they're going to think about you first. As we've all had to adapt as salespeople to this time period, I know for myself, I'm on the road every day. I'm always in my car, and I've tried to take advantage of this time that I'm grounded at home and not in my car to attend a wide variety of industry calls. And there were a few consistent themes I've heard throughout those calls that really are the catalyst for the ideas I'm going to share with you right now. First, there are 2 things that top producers do regardless of the market that help contribute to their success. Number 1, they are grounded and focused in education. So top producers are continually educating themselves, their clients, and their referral partners. And secondly, top producers consistently are mining their own database. They simply stay in touch regardless of the market. And then lastly, we are undoubtedly in a very unique time, and it really isn't the time to sell a product, but it is a huge opportunity to connect and bring value. On one of the industry calls I was on, I heard Coach Bill Hart ask, what is it that you know that can help others? It's time to step up and step out. So with those themes in mind, the 3 tools I'm going to share with you are all found on MGIC's consumer website called readynest.com. Now I'm going to show you the 3 tools, we're going to discuss the ideas, and then after that, I'll show you how to navigate through the website so that you can actually immediately grab these tools right after our call. So with that, the first tool we're going to discuss is the monthly budget worksheet. During this time, I mean, I've heard it described as we're all in the same storm, but not everybody's in the same boat. So people are having to tighten their belt and reevaluate their finances. So consider how you can use a monthly budget worksheet, send it out to your entire database, and simply say, hey, I'm thinking about you. How are things going? I hope you find this helpful. So when you look at this worksheet, and I'll just show you very quickly, page 1, they're going to list all of their expenses, but page 2 is really where the analytics come into play. I've just thrown some random numbers on here just for an example, but on page 2, they're going to have what they budgeted on the left, and then on the right, their actual expenses, so they can do the analysis, and they can use this over a 6-month time period. So again, think about what people are facing right now. So maybe gas, maybe they budgeted $400, but during this quarantine, they've filled up their tank one time. I think for me, I'm usually at the gas station at least every other day because I'm on the road, but I literally have filled up my tank one time. How about groceries? I've talked to so many people that said it feels like their grocery bill has tripled during this time. I think our household is in that category. So maybe they budgeted $400, but they spent $1,200 on groceries. And then the haircuts and the salon services, right? Big fat zero. I'm curious how many of you have taken matters into your own hands, hit those clippers. I know I've offered to help my husband and my nephew, and they refuse to take me up on it. I don't even want to show you my nails right now. It's pretty sad. So bottom line, we're all in the same storm, not all in the same boat. People are having to tighten the belt, reevaluate their finances. And this is something that can be helpful. There's a lot of fear out there. So how can you use your knowledge and expertise to turn that fear to focus? So a monthly budget worksheet is great in the best of times, but especially now as people are reevaluating, and depending on what state you're in, I know states are starting to reopen, but it's still important for people to look at their finances and kind of reevaluate where they are. I want to ask you, when somebody is there for you in the difficult times, don't you try to remember them in the good times? This is your opportunity to do just that. You can even use this monthly budget worksheet on your social media if you wanted to do a post and say, hey, here's something helpful. I'm thinking about you. Let me know if you'd like to chat. Think about your referral partners. I can't think of anybody who would not appreciate a budget, a worksheet to do their budget. I know my household needs to be way better at this. So this is a way that you can stay engaged, bring value, and help turn that fear to focus. Let's talk about another thing that's happening right now. As people have been stuck at home, everybody's honey-do lists are growing, right? But there are only so many walls that you can paint. So this is a home maintenance checklist. It suggests all of these tasks for homeowners to do either periodically, in the springtime, in the fall, or once per year. So I've just highlighted this as an example to show you some of the things that are recommended in the springtime. So folks should be checking their foundation, their walls, their chimneys, cleaning out those roof and gutters, looking for any cracks. These are things that are good to do in the springtime. This home maintenance checklist has been blessed by the American Society of Home Inspectors. So it's a valid checklist that can really help people organize their tasks and look at things that they should do as responsible homeowners. What I love also about this is page 2 of this checklist down at the bottom. It reminds you, you should have knowledge to know where's that main water shutoff valve, all your electrical panels. How do you, where's the main emergency shutoff for your heating system? So things that we should all know as homeowners or even renters that you should have knowledge of. So this is a really great worksheet, again, that can help people organize their time and really be useful. And it's something thoughtful, blessed by home inspectors. And it's something that you can say, hey, I'm thinking about you. Here's something to help you as you're locked down at home. And again, this is helpful even not during a quarantine. These are things that we should all be doing, but especially now, how can you help people focus their time and give something valuable and helpful to let them know that you're thinking about them? Now, the third tool, let's talk about people looking for homes. So during this time, people may not have been out looking at homes, going to open houses, but they are still looking at homes online. So this is a home comparison chart where somebody can compare up to 3 different homes side by side. So they'll put in the property address, the square footage, the year built, and then as they're looking at virtual maps, hey, is this home near work? Is it near school? What's the traffic sound like? What's the home asking price for each of these homes? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? As people have been locked down, they're certainly reevaluating their households. Maybe they're realizing, you know what, I need a yard. This condo isn't working. I really need a yard. Or I need an extra bedroom has their household changed? People are locked down with their kids. Maybe they realize they need a extra den or a bonus room because we've all been in these confined spaces. Has their household changed in any way? I think I shared we recently took custody of my nephew in November, and so my office is now his bedroom. And so it really didn't seem like that big of a deal until we've all been locked down. So now we're thinking, hey, we actually need another room. So there are a lot of things that have been happening for folks, but people are still going to look at buying homes. They have been looking at line, and arguably it's probably elevated their interest during this time that they've been locked down. So what can you give them? What tool can you give them to help them during this unique time? And then as people hit the streets, this home comparison chart is also excellent because, again, they can compare side by side. Oh yeah, that was the house that was near school, but we didn't like it because of the traffic. Or this is the house with that extra bathroom, but you know what? There was too much noise, or whatever it may be. It allows them to compare them side by side. And then as an MGIC customer, we actually have a secret marketing portal that will allow you, I can give you access if you reach out to me, to customize these worksheets with your own contact information. So I just want to show you, here's what the home maintenance checklist would look like, customized. I've just slapped my photo, my contact information on there so you can get a snapshot of what it would look like, customized. And then here's what the home comparison chart would look like. Again, customized, slapped my photo, contact information on there, but imagine it with your own contact information. So this is something you can get into the hands of your referral partners. This is something that you can share with your database. Again, maybe you place it on social media. Hey, if you're shopping for a home, here's a tool to help you. So there are a few different ways you can use these, either on social media or sending them out to your database, sharing them with your referral partners. Again, bringing value, helping to change fear to focus, and letting people know that you're there, you're considerate, you're remembering them during this time, and you're here to bring value and share your knowledge and expertise. So with that, I know I went through that pretty fast, but we are recording this if you want to rewind it. But I want to show you now and remind you how you access these tools on our consumer website. So ReadyNest.com is MGIC's consumer website that we created for the sole purpose of educating the homeowner. That is the goal, so that we have a successful homeowner. Now, one of the first things you should notice when you come to this website is you don't see any banner ads. There are no mortgage companies advertised on here. I want you to think for a moment about Google, right? What happens if you go to Google and you type in red shoes, you're looking for red shoes, what immediately starts to happen after you leave Google? You start getting bombarded on your social media with shoe store ads and red shoes, and it's just amazing on how immediately you start getting bombarded. Well, that's because Google is selling your information. Those leads, people are paying to get that information to know what are you shopping for. So what happens when your borrowers go to Google and type in, what is a discount point? They immediately start getting bombarded by your competition. So this website is a safe haven. It's a protected bubble where a consumer can come here and get information and not get bombarded by your competition. The way the website's broken up is on the left-hand side, you'll find Get Ready. So if a person is thinking about buying a home and they need to know, hey, what do I need to know about credit? What the heck is mortgage insurance? Can I even afford to buy a home? How much down payment do I need? What do I need to save? If they're thinking about the process, there's Get Ready. Then going through the process. All right, now I've made the decision. I want to go through the process to buy a home. What do I need to know about making an offer? What should I know about home inspections? And then once they're at home, they're homeowners, how can I maintain my home? And we even have on here canceling MI. How the heck do I get rid of MI? So kind of the three stages: somebody thinking about buying a home, they're going through the process of buying a home, and now they're a homeowner. The right side of the page is where you're going to find our home buyer education. So our self-study course and the test. We also have a ton of stories and video content on here. There's a video on here about a 23-year-old single woman who bought her first home using a low down payment. So a ton of different stories and video content for the consumer. And then under resources, you have our mortgage glossaries. I just want to show you very quickly. This is one of my favorite pieces because, again, somebody goes to Google and types in what is a discount point. Number one, you're going to be worried that they're getting misinformation, but number two, you don't want them getting bombarded by their competition. So this is a fantastic mortgage glossary. that is great in any time period, but something you can get into the hands of the consumer and even your referral partners. So again, that's under resources. The 3 tools I shared with you are all found under resources and then checklists and worksheets. So very simple, resources, checklists, and worksheets. All 3 of the tools we went over are found right there. You can download them. And then if you'd like to customize them, just reach out. So again, readiness.com, it's the consumer website, protected bubble. If you are looking for content, you will have, this is kind of a one-stop shop for content. We could spend probably 2.5 hours going through all of the various content on this website that you can use. There's 5 different financial calculators that you can post. So just amazing content. But again, wanted to give you quick 3 tools and ideas down under resources and then checklists and worksheets. Lastly, this website, for those of you that do serve the Spanish-speaking community, right-hand column up at the top, it says in Espanol. If I click on that, the entire website converts to Spanish, including the financial checklist and all of the stories. And then since I can't read Spanish, I click in English and it comes right back. So for all of you that need help with the Spanish-speaking community, this website's great for that. So with that, Lee will open it up to see if there are any questions in the chat or if you have any questions.
Great. Well, thank you, Sam. I appreciate that information. And so if anybody has any questions, go to the chat and make sure you respond to chat to everybody so that I can see them. So a couple things. You know, what we had said to begin with, you know, right now it's very, very important to stay in touch with your clients and stay in front of them. You know, I think, Sam, you said at the beginning of this, which obviously, you know, holds true, which is if you stay in touch with them during a time like this when they don't necessarily have a need and you're checking on them or reaching out to them, they're definitely going to be remembering you in the time in which they do need something. A couple interesting points, especially in this day and age. You know, a couple of years ago, a few years ago when I was in college, my marketing professors had said that it was an average of 3.2 touches that you had to have with a client for them to remember you and remember your name. And from an advertising perspective, it was about 3.2 touches. This day and age, with all the social media and all of the traffic that goes on out there, that's actually increased. The average right now is 8 touches. They basically say between 7 and 13 touches that you need to touch your client approximately 8 times for them to remember you and recognize you and think of you. So needless to say, it's more than doubled in the handful of years since I've been out of college. So needless to say, these are great tools to stay in front of your folks and to, you know, touch them several more times, especially during this crisis. A couple questions I want to kind of address with you, Sam, before we kind of wrap up here. So first question is, how much traffic would you estimate that this website gets?
That is a great question. And actually, MGIC does look at those numbers. And most recently, I was just on a call a couple of weeks ago, and this website gets 190,000 views per month on average, 190,000 views per month. So consumers are on here. It's shared a lot of traffic.
Yeah, that's a great statistic. So another question. So with respect to the home buyer education, so can you share some ideas about using that as a lead generation tool? Because you got the home buyer education.
Yes, absolutely. So the home buyer education is found under the test. This is a self-study course. It'll take the average person about 45 minutes to go through the course, and then about 20 minutes to take the test. When they complete the test, they'll get a completion certificate saying that they passed the course. As a loan officer, you can register for what's called a buyer's ed code. It essentially is going to end up being your email address. And if they use your code when they take the test, then the completion certificate will also automatically get emailed to you. So copy to the borrower, copy to you. So let's think about that. Somebody who's taken the time to go through the education, that's a pretty good lead. That's a pretty good indication that somebody is serious. So even if homebuyer education is not required on a product, Think about how you can use that to vet leads. So I know of a loan officer who made a post on their social media. They linked the home buyer education. He simply put his buyer's ed code, said, here's my code. Make sure you use this to take the test. He received 40 inquiries on that one post, and it was nothing flashy. It was just simple. Hey, if you thinking about buying a home in the next couple of years, here's a great course for you to take. And he gave his home buyer education code. So if you're looking for something unique on social media, this is a great thing that you can do, a great post. And again, imagine these vetted leads. So you're going to get in your email box somebody who took the time to take this course. Let's talk about the course that it's approved for. So it is still acceptable on Freddie Mac's Home Possible program. Fannie still requires their frameworks class on Home Ready. So Freddie will still accept this course, as well as some of the HFA programs that require home buyer education. Most all of them that I know, I don't know every particular state, but I know in California, like the GSFA will accept this. But you would need to refer to guidelines for your own state HFA programs, but it is acceptable to Freddie. But regardless of that, think outside the box. How can you bring value again, especially now? How can you help turn fear to focus by educating them on home ownership and get their wheels spinning? So simply saying, hey, are you thinking about this in the next few years? Here's something that you can do. So you can register for your buyer's ed code at mgic.com. You go to mgic.com, in the search bar, just type in home buyer education code, and it's a very quick registration. As a loan officer, you register one time to register your code. That's how MGIC knows, links your contact information so that when your borrower uses your code, you're going to get that completion certificate. So very fast and very simple.
That's a great way of generating, definitely some business. So let me see if there's any other questions that we have on here. Does anybody have any other questions before we put a wrap on this? I don't see any, but if you guys have any further questions, either forward them either to myself, I can read, or reach directly back out to Sam. But Sam, I want to thank you for doing this for our team here. Some great information as far as staying in contact with clients, and some good tools. So thanks everybody for joining. Hopefully you've gained something from this and can use these tools to continue growing your business. And I hope to be able to get more presentations offered out to the group.
Yep, and we will get a recording out to you guys as well. Just want to remind you, we will have a recording out to you guys by tomorrow. And again, if you'd like to talk about customizing the worksheets, give me a call, or any other resources. Just remember to go to MGIC when you need MI. We're all in it for business. And so I appreciate your MI business. Thank you guys all so much, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Sam. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.